Ever heard a story so chilling it feels like it's clawing its way out of the past, right into your living room? Well, turn down the lights and listen close, because tonight we're diving into one of England's most terrifying legends. This isn't just a ghost story. It's a tale of a beast that walks between worlds, a creature known as the Black Shuck. Our story takes us back to the late 1500s, a time when life was harsh and the line between the natural and supernatural was dangerously thin. Imagine a small village in the English countryside, nestled under a sky that's turning a bruised, angry purple. A storm is brewing, not just any storm, but a biblical tempest, the kind that makes people believe the world is ending. The wind howls like a hungry wolf, and rain comes down in sheets, turning the dirt roads into rivers of mud. For the villagers, there's only one safe place, one sanctuary against the wrath of God: the local church. It's a sturdy little building, made of cold, gray stone, its spire reaching towards the heavens as if in defiance of the storm. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of damp wool, wet earth, and fear. The entire village is crammed into the pews. Children are crying, mothers are clutching them tight, and men are staring nervously at the stained glass windows as lightning flashes illuminate scenes of saints and martyrs, making them look like they're screaming. The priest is at the altar, his voice barely audible over the roaring thunder, leading the congregation in a desperate prayer. They pray for the storm to pass, for their homes to be spared, for their very lives. The candles on the altar flicker wildly, their flames dancing like frantic spirits in the drafts that snake through the ancient stonework. The wind screams through every crack and crevice, and then it happens. A clap of thunder so loud, so violent, it feels like the sky itself has split in two. The ground shakes, the stone walls tremble, and at that exact moment, the massive oak church doors shudder. It's not the wind. This is something different. A heavy, rhythmic, booming sound echoes through the church, silencing the prayers, stopping every heart. Boom, boom, boom. It's as if something massive, something impossibly strong, has thrown itself against the doors. Panic begins to bubble up among the villagers. They look at each other, eyes wide with terror. The doors are barred from the inside. They know this, but the pounding continues, growing more frantic, more powerful. Then, with a sound like splintering bone, the heavy bar cracks. The locks burst. The doors fly open, crashing against the stone walls with a deafening bang. And there, framed in the doorway against a raging storm, stands a silhouette. It's not a man, it's a dog. But this is no ordinary animal. It's huge, impossibly so, taller than a wolf, with a shaggy coat of the blackest fur, so dark it seems to swallow the light around it. It's soaked from the rain, water dripping from its matted fur onto the stone floor, hissing like it's touching hot iron, and its eyes, witnesses who survived would later swear on their lives that its eyes burned like red-hot coals, glowing with an unholy fire. This is the Black Shuck. It doesn't bark. It doesn't snarl. The silence that falls over the church is more terrifying than any sound it could make. It simply stands there for a moment, its head low, water pooling around its massive paws. Then, with a slow, deliberate confidence, it takes a step inside, and another. The great doors swing shut behind it, plunging the church back into near darkness, lit only by the flickering candles and the terrifying glow of the creature's eyes. It begins to walk down the central aisle, right towards the altar. Its claws click on the stone floor, a sound that cuts through the roar of the storm outside. As it passes, the air grows impossibly cold. People who were huddled together for warmth suddenly feel an icy chill seep into their bones. They say the air became so frigid you could see your own breath, that you couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't even scream. It was a paralysis born of pure, primal fear. The creature moves with a strange, liquid grace, like a shadow given form. It reaches the front of the church and stops. It turns its massive head slowly, deliberately, scanning the terrified crowd. It's not just looking, it's choosing. Its burning gaze sweeps over the pews, and for those who met its eyes, it was like staring into the abyss itself. Then, it lunges. Chaos erupts. The spell is broken, and a wave of pure panic crashes through the church. People scream. They scramble. They claw at the wooden pews, trying to get away. Some fall to the floor. trampled in the stampede. Others are simply frozen in place, watching in horror as the great black dog moves through the crowd like a phantom. It doesn't tear or bite in the way a normal animal would. It moves like a wisp of dark smoke, a living nightmare. The attack is swift and brutal. When the storm finally begins to ease and the thunder recedes into a distant grumble, the creature stops. It stands in the center of the aisle, its shaggy form heaving slightly. The villagers who are still able stumble out of the church, gasping for air, their minds reeling from the horror they've just witnessed. They find that some among them are dead, having collapsed where they stood. But there are no bite marks, no torn flesh. Others are alive but bare, strange, burn-like marks on their skin, as if they've been touched by fire or lightning. Their clothes are singed, their skin blistered, a permanent reminder of the moment the black shuck passed them by. And the worst part, the most terrifying detail of all, the villagers say the dog didn't run away. It didn't flee back into the storm. One moment it was there, a solid, terrifying presence in the middle of the church, and the next, it was gone. It simply vanished into thin air, as if it had never been there at all. All that was left was the lingering scent of ozone and brimstone, and a chilling piece of physical evidence. On the outside of the heavy oak doors, there were deep, scorched scratches in the wood. Not claw marks from an animal, but blackened gouges, as if a giant hand with fingers of fire had raked its nails down the door. These marks became a legend in themselves. For centuries, people would come to see them, to touch the scorched wood and whisper the story of that terrible night. The legend of the Black Shuck spread across East Anglia, a story told in hushed tones around the fireplace on stormy nights. Because the Black Shuck isn't just a monster, it's an omen, a harbinger of death. They say it still roams the lonely country lanes, the misty coastlines, and the overgrown churchyards of England. Seeing it once is a warning. Seeing it twice means your time has come. And the story serves as a chilling reminder. Some legends are born from real events, real terror. The story of the Black Shuck in the church at Blythburgh, and another at Bungay, on that same day in 1577, is a cornerstone of English folklore. It's a tale that reminds us that sometimes the greatest horrors aren't the ones we can fight. They're the ones that arrive with the storm, the ones that walk through locked doors, the ones you can't outrun. And even today, when the thunder rolls and the sky grows dark, some people still look to the church doors and listen for that telltale scratching, praying they won't be the next ones chosen by the Black Shuck. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the darkness. If you love exploring the world's most terrifying legends, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Stay safe, and whatever you do, don't look into its eyes.